What's up, Bills Mafia? Welcome back to the channel where we keep it all things Buffalo Bills. The team, the players, the future, and of course, the passion that drives us all year long. Now listen, we know this squad is working every single day to sharpen its edge, to take that next step, and to finally kick that Super Bowl door wide open. And that means getting stronger, faster, and yes, smarter, especially when it comes to the NFL draft. So before we dive into this exciting report, with not one but two potential draft day targets the Bills are circling, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel grow and keeps this incredible community of Bills fans rolling strong. Okay, let's talk draft strategy. The Buffalo Bills are entering the 2025 NFL Draft with one goal in mind: find the final pieces. We've been to the dance. We've gotten to the AFC Championship, but we need that one big push to break through. And according to insiders, Beane and the front office have their eyes on some intriguing prospects who could shake up the board. Today, we're taking a close look at two names being linked heavily to Buffalo. And they couldn't be more different. One is a highly touted, polarizing cornerback from Michigan, and the other is an underrated defensive lineman from Nebraska who could turn into the steal of the draft. Let's get into it. First up, let's talk about Will Johnson, cornerback. Michigan, two-time All-American, and a name you've probably heard a lot about this offseason. Jeremy Fowler from ESPN recently named Buffalo as a top landing spot for Johnson. And when you look at the Bills' current depth at cornerback, that absolutely tracks. Kyrie Lamb, gone. Rasul Douglas, still a free agent. Christian Benford, solid. But we need a true CB2 to step in, especially in Sean McDermott's zone-heavy system. Now, here's where Johnson becomes a fascinating target. He's been a star since high school, 6'2", 200 pounds, with that ideal NFL size and reach. He's got 9 career interceptions, and 3 of them he took to the house. You love to see it. And he didn't just play. He started as a true freshman at Michigan. That's not easy to do. But, and you knew there was a but coming, he's also dealt with injuries. A shoulder, a lingering lower leg issue, and those red flags have caused him to slip from a projected top 10 pick to potentially being available at, pick 30, where the Bills sit. NFL scouts are split. One coordinator told Fowler he needs to be in a vision zone scheme. Let him attack what's in front of him. And guess what? That's exactly what Buffalo does best. We love our zone looks. We run dime packages, keep 6 DBs on the field, and Johnson would absolutely thrive in that setup. He's aggressive, instinctive, and with McDermott as a mentor, he could blossom. But the real question is this: is Beane willing to take a shot on a potential CB1 with injury baggage? We'll come back to that. Now, let's pivot to the other side of the ball and talk about one of the most criminally underrated prospects in this year's class, Nebraska's Ty Robinson. No, this man is flying under the radar, but not for long, and not if the Bills have anything to say about it. At 6'5", 288 pounds, Robinson is a bit light for a traditional nose tackle. But let's make one thing clear. The guy is violent off the snap. He's Nebraska's engine on the defensive line, racking up 12.5 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, and even knocking down 4 passes at the line of scrimmage. And just in case you are wondering if his athleticism translates to testing numbers, oh, it does. 33.5 vertical, 9'11 broad jump, 4.83 40-yard dash, 1.71 10-yard split. That's serious burst. And after a strong showing at the Senior Bowl and NFL Combine, Robinson is climbing boards again. Brandon Beane has always loved high-upside athletes with strong motors, and Ty fits that mold perfectly. Now, let's be honest, he's not going to be your plug-and-play one-tech who eats double teams. But as a rotational 3-tech with positional versatility, he's a chess piece, a guy who can line up across the line and generate pressure. And with Joey Bosa and Ed Oliver already in the fold, that rotation could be dangerous. Here's where things get really interesting. Bills Mafia, the front office holds the 30th overall pick in round 1 and 2 more picks in round 2. So if a top-tier corner like Will Johnson falls to them, boom, pull the trigger. But if not, there's real value in grabbing someone like Robinson on day 2, or even trading down to stack more picks and add depth across the board. With 10 picks total in this year's draft, Beane has the ammo to get creative. The Bills have needs, no question. Cornerback, defensive line, wide receiver, maybe even another safety. But this year's class has depth and the right moves. In April could reshape the roster just enough to get us over the hump. Let's zoom out for a second. This team won 13 games in 2024. Josh Allen just put together an MVP caliber season. The offense is explosive. The defense, when healthy, can dominate. We were right there in the AFC Championship game, so the window is not closing. It's wide open. But these next few weeks, they matter a lot. Adding a playmaking corner like Johnson or a disruptive force like Robinson could be the difference between another heartbreak and finally hosting the Lombardi in Buffalo. Brandon Beane, our GM, the guy who's helped shape this roster into one of the most dangerous in the league, recently made an appearance on ESPN's This Is Football with Kevin Clark. And folks, Beane dropped a gem that not only shows the kind of respect he has for Josh Allen, but also gives us an absolutely legendary story about one particular throw in 2024. Now, if you remember that brutal game against the Ravens, yeah, the one where we fell 35-10, it wasn't exactly our proudest moment. But even in a game like that, Allen pulled off something insane. Beane recalled a play where Josh quite literally got blasted off the sideline while delivering a 52-yard dart to Khalil Shakir. A throw most QBs wouldn't even attempt. And Josh completed it. Now here's where it gets crazy. That throw, according to NFL's Next Gen Stats, it was the closest completed pass to the sideline in NFL history. Let that sink in. Not just for 2024, not in Bills history, NFL history. Beane admitted that in the moment he thought, Josh, why are you throwing that? But Allen made it work. The ball traveled 40-plus yards in the air while he was getting knocked into the bench. Insane. But it doesn't stop there. When Kevin Clark brought up that historic stat during the interview, Beane shared that Allen already knew about it. In fact, he'd been bragging about it to Beane. Here's what Beane said, and I'm quoting, "He's one to talk because I've told him sometimes, Josh, throw the football away before you even have to take that hit." And he's like, yeah, but have you seen my completion percentage from within 1 yard of the sidelines? Come on now. That's elite level awareness and confidence. But it also shows how deeply Allen tracks his own numbers. Not just touchdowns or total yards, but next-gen analytics. The dude is a football nerd in the best possible way. Let's be real. When your MVP quarterback is that locked in, that competitive, and that detail-oriented, you've got something special. And Allen didn't win MVP by accident. In 2024, he put up 3,731 passing yards, ran for another 531, and racked up 40 total touchdowns. That's video game level stuff. And he did it while taking smarter risks and learning to balance aggression with control. Beane praised his decision-making, even while telling stories like this one that sound wild at first, but end up making total sense when you look at the results. That throw to Shakir, it didn't win us the game, but it was a moment that reminded everyone watching. Josh Allen doesn't just play quarterback, so he owns the position. This story also highlights something bigger, Bills Mafia. The trust between Brandon Beane and Josh Allen. Beane's no pushover. He's built one of the best rosters in football, and he's not afraid to be real with players, but even he admits, after that play, he might just need to let Josh do Josh. That level of mutual respect is rare. It's the kind of relationship you need between your GM and your franchise QB if you want to make a Super Bowl run. And it's not just about throwing bombs or breaking records. Allen has matured into the complete leader this franchise needs. He's studying stats, he's mentoring younger players, and he's showing up in every way, on and off the field. From helping Khalil Shakir develop into a legit weapon, to supporting his teammates in tough moments, Allen is the guy. This MVP season, it was built on more than just raw talent. It was built on awareness, accountability, and work ethic. And this story from Beane proves it. All right, Mafia, now it's your turn. What do you think of these two potential targets? Would you roll the dice on Will Johnson if he drops to 30? Or would you rather go the safe route and grab a guy like Ty Robinson in the second or third round? Let me know your draft strategy down in the comments. You're Brandon Beane for the day. Who are you picking? And don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you don't miss a second of Bills news, draft rumors, or exclusive updates as we get closer to April. This is your channel. This is our team. And this is the season we finish the job. Go Bills.